这个是杭州市西湖区比较有名的一个学校，叫宝树塔实验学校。这个要里面读书很难，你看放学了，好多家长在等啊。这里好多吃，但是今天要告诉你们的，学校旁边有那么多的店都关门了。原来嘛，学校旁边的店生意都很好的呀。你看这么多店都关门了。
很多劳务中介呢也收到通知，说富士康不招临时工了，并且还在清退小时工。虽然富士康出来回应说目前的运行正常，无风不起浪。
Hello， 朋友们，大家好，我下班了，现在是晚上6点现在这里是杭州彩河的双林路，这是我每天下班的必经之路。这是老小区里面非常热闹的一条街但是现在是亚运期间，人不多，车子也不多。现在是6点多一点了，看看公交车上都空了，大公交就1、2个人，这边也是空的，也就1、2个人。现在在公交大车真的都是空车开来开去，对面这辆也是。哎呀，这个浪费现在是高峰期，本来人多你看对面这辆也是大车，里面就2、3个人。现在这个坐公交的人都越来越少了。2个原因一个是亚运期间本来人就少一些，再一个是有地铁了，大家年轻人都坐地铁，只有一些老年人或者是小孩子读书的可能坐这个公交多一点，因为老年人是60岁以上，有的是免费的。你看这两边都是烟火气很浓的水果店、餐饮店，但是走动的人少，没什么人，那生意就肯定不好。看这些店里面都没什么客人进出，生意是越来越难做了。肯德基
November witnessed a dramatic decline in foot traffic and a surge in shuttered businesses. Once vibrant commercial hubs and pedestrian zones now appear eerily deserted. Even local establishments such as barbershops and fresh markets are experiencing prolonged vacancies. This has raised profound questions about the whereabouts of both people and spending power. Have consumers completely curtailed their expenditures? Many small business owners, striving to keep their establishments afloat, are sharing their struggles, characterizing their prospects as bleak and unsustainable. Optimism that the end of the pandemic would signal a return to normalcy has given way to the realization that the pandemic was merely the inception of economic hardships. The workforce faces the grim realities of unemployment and wage reductions, while business proprietors grapple with dwindling customer bases, resulting in not only profitability challenges but also substantial financial losses. Furthermore, as China's economy continues to contract and economic decoupling between Western nations and China intensifies, the future appears increasingly daunting for the Chinese populace. As I meandered along Shanghai's iconic Bund, I couldn't help but notice the alarming number of closed shops. It's a lamentable sight. It appears that many businesses in Shanghai might not survive the year. The economic downturn is evident, with brick-and-mortar stores struggling to compete against the burgeoning trend of online shopping. Why is this happening? Based on my observations of physical stores and the accounts of local business owners, it's evident that Shanghai is grappling with a severe economic downturn this year. It's worth noting that during last year's lockdowns, when physical stores were unable to operate normally, Their revenues were still twice as high as they are this year. Now, despite the end of the pandemic, businesses face an even bleaker economic landscape marked by foreign capital flight and a general decline in consumer spending. This predicament is not unique to Shanghai. Businesses across the country are grappling with similar challenges. Let's turn our attention to another pivotal first-tier city, Guangzhou. As I traversed Guangzhou's old town along Neo-Huishi Road, I was met with a desolate scene. Every storefront along the street had ceased operations, and some had even been put up for auction. While one might attribute this to the encroachment of e-commerce, this rationale doesn't entirely apply to Guangzhou, where physical shopping remains cost-effective and convenient. The exorbitant rents during the pandemic years likely played a significant role in the closure of many physical stores. However, it's astonishing to witness entire streets succumbing to the same fate. Guangzhou, renowned for its manufacturing and processing industries, boasts a relatively developed clothing sector. The Three Hongs wholesale market in Guangzhou serves as a distribution hub for various types of clothing. Nonetheless, it is currently experiencing a downturn. This is Guangzhou's garment district 13 Hongs. The once bustling corridors on the 8th floor now lie airily empty. Many of the long-standing manufacturers once situated on the 8th and 10th floors have vanished. The transformation is disheartening. You see, the original manufacturers used to occupy this very section on the 8th floor. They congregated here, and this area likely commanded the highest rent on the entire 8th floor, perhaps exceeding 200,000 CN per month. Today, it has been transformed into a warehouse housing remnants of their creations. What became of these original manufacturers in Guangzhou? How do I liquidate this surplus inventory? The sight of these goods, day in and day out, is truly overwhelming. Look at this section. All of this. It's truly disheartening. If all physical stores close down, unemployment will rise significantly. When people lack financial resources, societal instability can ensue. Currently, I find myself inside a supermarket in Guangzhou's Tianhe district. This supermarket is well known in the city and has numerous branches. I won't mention the supermarket's name here. In theory, this supermarket boasts an advantageous location, surrounded by various businesses offering a one-stop solution for dining, entertainment, and shopping. However, reality paints a starkly different picture. Many supermarkets in Guangzhou are grappling with a situation where they have more staff than customers. How did we reach this point? With the ascendancy of the internet and e-commerce, physical stores are grappling with dwindling foot traffic, and this trend seems to be escalating. The closure of physical stores not only leads to heightened unemployment, but also exerts a significant toll on the broader economy. Logistics companies and suppliers will also face challenges as more brick-and-mortar stores shutter their doors. With consumers tightening their purse strings, not only are they buying fewer clothes, but they're also reducing their visits to supermarkets. However, people still need to eat. So why are wholesale markets for fruits and vegetables and agricultural trade markets also facing dire straits? Take Jiangnan Fruit and Vegetable Wholesale Market in Guangzhou, the largest agricultural product distribution center in South China. It also exports goods to Taiwan, Japan, and Southeast Asia. Each stall here incurs annual expenses exceeding 1 CN million. In such a market climate, bankruptcy looms ominously. Even more astonishingly, barber shops are also experiencing a slump. Could it be that people are even cutting back on haircuts? A young barber in Shenzhen mentioned that since the beginning of November, customer numbers have notably dwindled and he's facing daily losses. The reality is harsh. I don't understand what happened in November. For over a week now, nearly 10 days, our daily revenue has barely exceeded a few hundred yuan, with totals hovering around CNI 4 to 500 CN. It's an uphill battle. It's already 1-0 in the afternoon, and we haven't made a single sale since morning. Yesterday afternoon, we managed just over CNI 300, and I have no idea what our afternoon revenue will look like. So far, it's a bleak 0. Allow me to show you outside. There are scarcely any pedestrians on the street, only delivery riders on their bicycles. We set up chairs every day, awaiting customers, but they never come. It's incredibly disheartening. Since the beginning of November, our business has been spiraling downward, with a monthly rent of 9,000 CNA plus utilities and employee salaries. Our monthly expenses amount to at least 30,000 CNA, meaning we need daily revenue exceeding 1,000 CN just to cover our basic costs. Currently, we're operating at a daily loss. I've been sitting here all day and there hasn't been a single customer. In Beijing, a business owner selling cigarettes and alcohol also laments that business isn't as brisk as before. Winter has yet to arrive, and many physical stores are already feeling the chill of plummeting revenue. I've watched videos from many peers, and they all report a significant drop in earnings in November, with some even mentioning that they're losing money just covering rent. A seasoned entrepreneur who has been in business for decades reveals that this year has presented him with unprecedented difficulties, leaving him devoid of confidence in the future. Have you noticed that business has taken a downturn recently? Revenue is dwindling by the day, and the streets are increasingly barren. Since November, following the Mid-Autumn Festival, business has been deteriorating daily. Even during the festival, our revenue plummeted by 50%, which was alarming at the time. However, the situation has worsened since then. Our current revenue has nosedived by 80%. I stayed up until 3:00 am, and our earnings amounted to just 547.5. How can we sustain a business like this? Our rent alone is CNY 200 per day. In the past, despite occasional hardships, we held on to the belief that things would improve after a few days. But now, I've lost all faith and business shows no signs of recovery. As some netizens have aptly put it, things only seem to get worse, never better. I never fathomed that this year would present such formidable challenges. I've been in business since the age of 15, delving into various ventures, profitable and otherwise, but I've never encountered such adversity before. Our revenue is heart-wrenching, surpassing my psychological threshold. It's already 7:00 p.m, and our earnings today have amounted to a mere 50 CN. This business is taking a toll on my mental well-being. Severe insomnia plagues me, and my appetite has vanished. I'm deeply distressed by this situation. I'm torn between whether to persist or not. Our lease has 5 months remaining, and I'm pondering whether to renew it. At this point, I feel like a leaf adrift in a storm, unsure of which way to turn, utterly lost. The owner of a supermarket also shared in a video that November was the worst month of her business. The video's title reads "Store Closures Imminent." I recently viewed a video featuring a clothing store owner whose entire November revenue amounted to 1459 CN. That's for the entire month, not just a single day. Consider that for a moment. Even if that entire sum were profit, it would only be 1400 CN and 59 CN. One could earn several thousand yuan elsewhere, not to mention the additional costs of rent and utilities. Is continuing this business financially viable? Is it worth persevering? Presently, it's not just clothing stores. Supermarkets and restaurants are all grappling with similar challenges. Some restaurant owners express that they wait idly all day and often end up empty-handed, with daily earnings sometimes totaling just tens or hundreds of yuan. The situation is indeed dire. I don't know how November has treated your business, but for many of us, it has been exceptionally harsh, and we're unsure how much longer we can endure. Unfortunately, he terminated his live stream. Presently, due to the slump in China's real estate market, industries associated with it are also languishing. Here we are in a large lighting mall, spanning 4 floors, yet surprisingly, there isn't a single customer in sight. During today's stroll, I observed that on the entire second floor of this lighting store mall, scarcely any shops remain open. They have all shuttered. What is happening? Let's ascend to the 3rd floor and investigate. There too, we encounter a vacant and desolate scene. As of now, it's 2:38 in the afternoon. I came across a comment recently stating that business this year is even worse than it was before the pandemic. The sentiments expressed by these citizens offer a poignant glimpse into the true state of China's economy. Even official economic data releases are not painting an optimistic picture. China's National Bureau of Statistics released economic data indicating that profits for industrial enterprises of a designated size across the nation had declined by 9% year-on-year in the first 9 months of the year. Industrial enterprises of a designated size refer to industrial legal entities with an annual primary business income of 20 million CNY, equivalent to $2.7 million or more. Notably, this category excludes small businesses operating physical stores. This data illustrates that both large enterprises and smaller brick-and-mortar businesses are grappling with declining revenue, Even more dishearteningly, this descent may only be the outset. As public awareness of these challenges grows, individuals may become increasingly cautious about spending and more inclined to save in anticipation of the tough times ahead. Without consumer spending, there is little hope for economic rejuvenation, creating a destructive cycle that could plunge the economy into an even deeper abyss. In recent years, we have cited various reasons for our financial struggles, but the current predicament appears to be the most daunting yet.